So this is SIG number 5 on indefinite integration, and this is problem number 1, which is integrate 3x to the negative 1 power. And the first thing you could do to tackle this problem is move the constant to the outside. So you'll be left with 3x to the negative 1 power dx. And then you could rewrite that to 1 over x, because it turns positive when you move it to the bottom, dx. And as you know, this is u prime over u, so that's going to be ln. So your answer would be 3 ln absolute value of x plus c.
Okay, so this is problem number 2, taking the antiderivative of 4 e to the x. So what we can do here to make it simple is take out the 4, and then we'll just have e to the x dx. And the derivative of e to the x is just e to the x times x prime, and x prime is just 1. So the derivative will just be e to the x, and then you bring it back the 4, and that's your answer. Oh, let's see.
Okay, so this is problem 3 on 6 test number 5. And the way you would want to handle this problem is first by rewriting the radical as an exponent. So it would be 20x to the 1/3 over 3 dx. And then you would integrate it using power rule. So you would add 1 to this exponent, and you would get 20x to the 4/3 over 3. And then you divide by whatever you get. So you would divide by 4/3, but dividing by a fraction is the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. So you would multiply by 3/4, and you would get 60x to the 4/3 over 12. And then you simply simplify and you get 5x to the 4/3 plus c.
Okay, so this is problem number 4, taking the antiderivative of 4 cosine x dx. So just to make it simple, we'll take out the 4, and then we're just dealing with cosine x dx. And the antiderivative of cosine is sine x, because if you take the derivative of sine x, you get cosine x. And then we just bring back the 4, and that's our answer, and plus c.
So this is problem number 5 on SIG number 5, and we're dealing with cosecant squared x dx. And the only way to solve this problem is by knowing your trig derivatives. And we know that the derivative of cotangent x equals negative cosecant squared x, which is close to this, but it's positive. So the only thing that we need to change is that we need to add another negative in front of the cotangent, so these negatives cross out. So your antiderivative will just be simply negative cotangent x
Plus c.
plus c. Go.
Okay, so number 6 is another trig problem. So basically we're going to start off by taking out 3 just to make it simple. Then we'll be left with secant x tan x dx. And if we know our derivatives, then we know that the derivative of secant x equals secant x tan x. So the antiderivative of this is going to equal this. And we'll be left with secant x, and then we bring back the negative 3, and then we add c.